This isn't just a rivalry, it's a reckoning. Caitlin Clark, the sharpshooting phenom from Iowa, is about to take the WNBA by storm. And Angel Reese, she might want to keep her eyes on the bench, because what's coming is a basketball beatdown. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you're gonna understand why Clark is not just better than Reese. She's about to leave her in the dust. Let's start with the numbers. Caitlin Clark isn't just good, she's historic. In her senior season at Iowa, Clark averaged 31.6 points per game, 8.9 assists, 7.4 rebounds, 38% from three on insane volume. And she did it all while being double-teamed night after night. Compare that to Angel Reese? Yes, she's a dominant rebounder, 13.4 boards per game. But offensively, just 18.6 points per game. And most of those come at the rim. Clark's offensive impact is total. She scores, she facilitates, she stretches the floor, she runs the game. Reese, she cleans up around the rim. It's levels to this. Caitlin Clark's bag is deep. Pull-up threes, no-look passes, crossovers, IQ off the charts. Angel Reese, she's tough, physical, and relentless. But let's be real, she's not stretching the floor, and she's not breaking down defenses with finesse. Clark can create offense out of nothing. Reese relies on offense coming to her. Who do you want with the ball in their hands, down 3 with 10 seconds left? Exactly. Let's get something straight. The WNBA is not college ball. It's faster, more physical, and spacing is everything. And here's where Caitlin Clark thrives. Her game already fits the league. You've got to guard her 30 feet from the hoop, and if you don't, it's a bucket. If you do, she'll find the open player every time. Look at her preseason impact. 18 points, 5 assists, 3 steals in her second game, 4 threes on NBA range pull-ups. Running pick and rolls like a vet. Coaches are already game planning around her. She's the system. Now flip to Angel Reese. She's a rebounding machine. Don't get it twisted. But in the WNBA, bigs need to shoot or switch. Reese is not a shooter. She went 0 for 4 from 3 last season. Her free throw percentage, only 70%. And defense, she's struggled on switches against quicker forwards and scrimmages. This isn't hate, it's scouting. And right now, Clark's toolkit just fits. Even WNBA vets like Kelsey Plum and Diana Taurasi have said it. Clark's already more dangerous than half the league. Spoiler alert, reality's already here. Pressure makes diamonds, or it crushes you. And Caitlin Clark, she's built for the moment. You don't sell out Madison Square Garden, go back-to-back Final Fours, and carry the weight of women's basketball unless your mental game is elite. She was the story of college basketball last year, male or female. And what did she do? Led the nation in scoring, became the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, dropped 40-point games like it was nothing. Meanwhile, Angel Reese's mental game, a little shakier. In 2023, she mysteriously sat out for several games. No injury, just personal reasons. Then there's the locker room friction. Reports say LSU's chemistry was off, with Reese at the center of it. Compare that to Clark, who led one of the most cohesive squads in the country, under pressure, under fire, and with the entire country watching. Leadership shows up in chaos. Clark stayed calm. Reese, we saw cracks. And in the WNBA, mental toughness separates stars from role players. Let's talk spice. Yes, Angel Reese is the queen of viral moments. She gave Clark the "you can't see me" in the 2023 NCAA final, and social media exploded. But let's break it down. Reese won the battle, sure, but who won the war? Clark responded the next year by breaking records, becoming a national icon, and pulling in millions of new fans to women's basketball. She didn't clap back on Twitter. She clapped back with 40-point bombs and dagger threes. Reese talks, Clark produces. Now, trash talk in the WNBA is real, but it's also earned. And in this league, if you can't back it up, it gets ugly. Clark's game silences crowds. She doesn't need to flex. She is the flex. And when they meet this season, you already know who's going to take that matchup personally. Here's the difference. One is trying to win the moment. The other is trying to own the legacy. Let's dig deeper into off-court impact, where real legacy is built. Caitlin Clark didn't just show up and play basketball. She changed the entire women's sports economy. Let's talk money and visibility. She helped the WNBA break viewership records. 18.7 million watched Clark versus South Carolina. The NCAA championship has more viewers than the NBA playoffs. Caitlin Clark became the first female college athlete to have her own signature shoe deal with Nike. And the jersey? Fever's Clark jersey. Best-selling WNBA jersey of all time. Within 48 hours, ticket prices for Fever games up 300% from last season. Indiana sold out every single home game for the first time in franchise history. That's Clark's off-court gravity. She's not just a player, she's a brand multiplier. Now compare that to Angel Reese. She's a strong brand, no doubt. NIL valuation reached over $1.7 million. Fashion collabs, media appearances, even a Met Gala invite. But here's the key difference. Clark's presence elevates the league. Reese's presence, more individual. It's built around her personality, not the growth of the game. Clark inspired millions of girls to pick up a basketball. She's the Steph Curry of the women's game, bringing range, flair, and humility. Reese inspires with confidence, with attitude, and that matters too. too, but it doesn't always translate to long-term league building. Also, let's address the media treatment. Reese has said the press favors Clark, but look deeper. Clark just wins the narrative war because she lets her play do the talking. Here's the truth. Clark has haters too, but she doesn't clap back. She keeps working, and that silence, it builds respect. Ask any WNBA vet who's watched both players closely. Who's moving the needle more? The answer is unanimous. In the words of Breanna Stewart, what Caitlin's doing isn't just good for her, it's changing the game for all of us. And that's how you become the face of a league. This is what a movement looks like. Reese is flashy. Clark is foundational. In 5 years, one will be on magazine covers, the other on statues. By now, you get it. Caitlin Clark is statistically superior. She's fundamentally sharper, more polished, and more league-ready. But here's the twist in this story. Angel Reese isn't playing for stats. She's playing for culture. And that's what makes this rivalry so electric. It's not just about who scores more. It's about what they represent. Caitlin Clark represents the golden child of basketball. Elite talent, humble roots, pure game. She's your coach's dream. Angel Reese, she's the anti-hero. Confident, polarizing, and never afraid to speak her mind. This isn't LeBron versus Melo. This is more raw. Think Serena versus Sharapova. KD versus Russ. Bird versus Magic. If Twitter existed back then, Reese said it herself. I'm too hood for y'all. I'm too ghetto. She's owning the narrative people try to use to tear her down. Meanwhile, Clark keeps her head down. Lets her game do the work. It's fire versus ice. Swagger versus silence. So what happens when legacy is no longer just about rings and numbers? But who moved the culture? Reese might not beat Clark on the court every night, but she'll never stop pushing the conversation. And in today's world, that matters. Let's be honest, rookie seasons are fun, but true greatness, it's what happens after the spotlight fades. When the fans stop cheering, when injuries hit, when teams rebuild or lose, that's where legends either rise or disappear. So what happens in year 3, year 5, year 10? Caitlin Clark's trajectory isn't just upward, it's historic in scale. She's the most prolific college scorer ever, men's or women's. Her play style, elite range, passing, IQ isn't dependent on athleticism. It's sustainable. She's built to be like Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, and then some. Her comps, Steph Curry, Sabrina Ionescu, Larry Bird's vision with Dame Lillard's range. She'll age gracefully because her game is skill first, not force first. That's why shooters dominate longer. That's why she's a dynasty waiting to happen. Now, let's talk about Angel Reese. The long-term question isn't about her grit. It's about her growth. Right now, she dominates on hustle, offensive rebounds, inside presence, physicality, but that only gets you so far. For Reese to last, she'll need a reliable jump shot, better footwork in space, defensive discipline, a refined post game. And let's not sugarcoat it, she's behind the curve on all of those. But here's where Reese can flip the script. She's shown she can learn fast. If Reese evolves like Aja Wilson or adds a face-up game like Candace Parker, then yeah, we might be looking at 2 future MVPs. But if she doesn't, she risks becoming another bruiser who can't survive in a pace and space league. Clark, she's plug and play anywhere, any system, any era. Reese, she has to build the system around her. That's the difference between a 12-year legend and a 6-year highlight reel. Also, consider the off-court factor. Clark's career longevity benefits from less wear and tear. Reese's physicality means more banging, more risk, shorter prime. Clark already plays like a vet. Reese still plays like a college star and has to adapt fast. So in 2030, who's still a face of the league? If you're betting money, there's only one safe pick, Caitlin Clark. But if Reese turns the corner, the league might have 2 titans, and women's basketball might never be the same again. Look, this isn't just a sports story, it's a cultural earthquake. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese are doing something that's never been done before, and they're doing it on their terms. They're not asking for permission. They're not waiting for validation. They're taking the spotlight and redefining what it means to be a woman in sports. Think about what this rivalry represents. Clark, the clean-cut scorer, humble but fiery. She's the Midwestern hero. She's precision. She's basketball purity. Reese, the unapologetic disruptor. Loud, proud, daring. She's power. She's presence. She's resistance to everything the game told her to tone down. Together, they're breaking down every old rule of the WNBA, and yeah, they don't have to like each other. That's the point. Because greatness doesn't need friendship. It needs conflict. It needs contrast. Bird had Magic. Serena had Sharapova. MJ had Isaiah. Clark has Reese. It's classic. It's layered. It's black versus white, hood versus wholesome, raw versus refined, all without either player having to say a word. The culture fills in the blanks. And whether you cheer for one or both, what you're really cheering for is the evolution of the game itself. These two are more than rivals. They're mirrors, reflecting different paths, different powers, and different pressures. And when the history books get written, their names will be side by side, like all great rivalries should be. So ask yourself, are you watching this as a fan of Clark, a defender of Reese, or a witness to the era of change? Because this rivalry isn't going away. It's only getting bigger. And what happens next will define the future of women's sports, and maybe sports itself. Like, if you believe Caitlin Clark is about to own this league, comment. If you think Angel Reese will rise and prove everyone wrong, subscribe. subscribe if you believe in rivalries that elevate the entire game. This season, it's not just about who wins, it's about who lasts, who leads, who transcends. Clark is here, Reese is rising, and we're watching the dawn of something so much bigger than basketball. So keep your eyes on the court, keep your feet on the ground, and keep your heart ready, because the greatest rivalry in women's sports history has just begun.